Hi, I hope you're having a good day. So today we are going to have a short crash course to multimeters. And here we have two different types. This is the traditional with the needle and with an LCD. So I will immediately say that if you're not familiar with these things, the LCD is much easier to handle or read. So first you need to put the battery in, and if there's no dedicated battery compartment here, you just have to take the screws off and put the usually 9-volt battery inside. So that's how we started. Okay, so what then? It depends what you're going to do, but we are now concentrating on resistance. And the resistance is this area here where you can see this icon or mark of ohm. So it looks almost like a headset. If you're half blind like I am, it just goes for a headset. So this is the area where the ohms are marked from 200 ohms up to 200 kilo ohms. It varies depending what kind of multimeter you have, but in that range it usually is. So where do we put the cables? So the black cable goes to COM, C-O-M, which is like a minus or grounding place, and it always goes there. Now, depending what you are going to measure, it may go to either one of these, but because it's resistance, we can see here voltage and ohms. So wherever the ohm is marked, you have to put the red cable there. Now, you have to put the meter to, I would put first into the lowest number of the resistance, which is 200 ohms. Just test the cables. So it's a 0.8 at the moment, so it's all good. Now we know that it's working. If you have a higher number here, like 20 or 50 or something like it, there is a big chance that your cable is not very good, or the battery is getting flat. That is a very common issue. When the battery goes flat, the resistance will go higher up here, so you may have to change the battery. Now I have the multimeter in 200,000 ohms or 200 kilo ohms. And because this is 500 kilo ohms, it should show something now. So now we see that's 516 kilo ohms. Now, because the lower one is 200 kilo ohms and this is 500 kilo ohms, you'll get a reading again of 1. And that's because it's over the scale, it cannot show it anymore. So you know that you have to put a higher reading there. 517.16. If you're interested in knowing more about potentiometers, especially for guitars, I have another video which shows you more and tells more about these things and how to measure them. Okay, let's take another sample, and in this case it is a single coil pickup. So what you need to do, because it has 2 cables only, do not touch when you're measuring. Do not touch the wires with your hand because it may change the resistance. So a little bit better cables would be nice, but you can see it's 009, so it's something much lower what our 200k input is at the moment. So we can start, let's put it for example 20k, because I know these are somewhere around maybe 5k or something. So now 6.36, so it's 6 kilo ohms and a bit. And what about voltage? So it is in the US it's about 120, and in Europe it is 220 to 240. So the cables are in this case in the same position, but you have to turn this one to preferably high reading, because in Europe if you have 200 only, it's not enough, so you have to put it into 600. Now you can check them from your wall socket, stick it in, no matter which is which, and you get the reading. But you have to have this one in the alternate current, which is this wave and voltage, and 600 for example. If you're measuring batteries which are like DC, you can see it from here, you have to go to in this area. And if it's for example 9 volt or 1 volt battery, you put it into 20. And in this case it says here 600 volt AC, 600 volt DC, so it has to be back here. And now you can measure the batteries. So those two are usually the main things that you have to measure. You may have to measure amperes, normally not. There is also a transistor measurement and diode measurement, but I may do another video about these things later on, but I hope this helps for now. Thanks for watching.